Maverick's here. I heard him, I think.
Okay, guys.
He was
Is
so quiet.
Biblemaxxing live? Because
Yes,
they need to know
Biblemaxxing
my
live.
amazing diet. I have a glass of water, a jar of pickles, and small bag of Lay's salt and vinegar chips.
Hold on, I'm,
It's
I'm changing my audio so they can hear you better.
perfect. Alright. Genesis 5, the descendants of Adam. No! No, I was reading the descendants of something else. Wait, these people were descendants of Adam. Anyway, this is the written account of the descendants of Adam. What was everything else then? Oh my god. When God created human beings, or man, Hebrew reads Adam, similar. This orange is Dynamasaur. He made them to be like himself. He created them male and female and blessed them and called them human. When Adam was 130 years old, he became the father of a son who was just like him in his very image. He named his son Seth. After the birth of Seth, Adam lived another 800 years
Damn.
and had other sons and daughters. Adam lived 930 years and then died. I like how it does not state how he died. When Seth was 105, he became the father of Enosh. After the birth of Enosh, Seth... Get off my screen! Seth lived another
Oh, that
100...
missed.
Damn! Seth lived another 807 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Seth lived 912 years, and then he died.
Does it also tell
Does not
not?
say. When Enosh was 90 years old, he became the father of Kenan. After the birth of Kenan, Enosh lived another 815 years. He had other sons and daughters. Enosh lived 905 years, and then he died.
Maverick died.
When Kenan was 70 years old, he became the father of... No, I'm not saying this one. Mahallel.
Bombaclat. A word you don't know is just yell bombaclat.
The father of Bombaclat. After the birth of Bombaclat, Kenan lived another 840 years. He had other sons and daughters. Kenan lived 910 years, and then he died. When Bombaclat was 65 years old, he became the father of Jared. After the birth of Jared, Bombaclat lived another 830 years, and he had many other sons and daughters. Bombaclat lived 895 years, and then he died. When Jared was 162 years old, he became the father of Enosh. Wasn't he already alive? After the birth of Enoch, Jared lived another 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 65 years old, he became the father of Methuselah. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch lived in close fellowship with God for another 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Enoch lived 365 years, walking in close fellowship with God, and then one day he disappeared. Huh?
Did you have enough to eat?
Kinda.
I have a chicken quesadilla.
Are you gonna eat it? Okay.
Bombaclat.
Baby.
Yes, I said Bumbleclick quietly.
Then one day he disappeared because God took him.
I said it as
That's
I did
all it says about
Hotel's
that.
Burst.
That's all it says, by the way. Yes, that's all it says. It does not say why. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he became the father of Lamech. After the birth of Lamech, Methuselah lived another 782 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Methuselah lived 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech was 182 years old, he became the father of a son. Lamech named his son Noah. Finally, for he said, "May he bring us relief." Noah sounds like a Hebrew term that can mean relief. Thanks. From our work and painful labor of farming this ground that the Lord has cursed. After the birth of Noah, Lamech lived another 595 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Lamech lived 777 years, and then he died. The pattern here is so crazy. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth?
200.
A World Gone Wrong. That is a crazy title. Thanks, Genesis 6.
What was the title?
A World Gone Wrong.
Oh wait, you're already wet. Don't.
Then the people began to multiply on the earth, and the daughters were born to them. The sons of God saw the beautiful women, and took away any they wanted as their wives. Then the Lord said, "My spirit will not be put up with humans for such a long time. They are only mortal flesh in the future. Their normal lifespan will be no more than 120 years.
Holy shit. Okay, King Minus.
What the In those days, and for some time after, the giant
Doink, doink,
Nephilitis, what?
doink.
Nephilites, however the hell you want to say it, lived on the earth. For whenever the sons of God had intercourse with women, they gave birth to children who became heroes and famous warriors of ancient times. Thanks for not elaborating on that at all. The Lord observed the extent of human wickedness on the earth, and he saw that everything they thought or imagined was consistently and totally evil. So the Lord was sorry he had ever made them and put them on earth, and it broke his heart. And the Lord said, hold on, I'm eating a chip. I have to do my Lord voice again. Let me get a glass of water too.
My balls itch.
I will wipe this human race I have created from the face of the earth, yes, and I will destroy every living thing, all the people, the large animals, the small animals that scurry along the ground, and even the birds of the sky. I am sorry I ever made them. But Noah found favor with the Lord. The story of Noah. This is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on earth at the time, and he walked in close fellowship with God. I want to know whatever happened to the dude that got abducted, and they just didn't say anything about it.
I'm stuck in the fucking corner. Die.
Noah was the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now God saw that the earth had become corrupt and was filled with violence. God observed all this corruption in the world, for everyone on earth was corrupt. And God said to Noah, "I have decided to destroy all living creatures." Hold on. Ahem. I have decided to destroy all living creatures, for they have filled the earth with violence. Yes, I will wipe them all. I will wipe them all out along with the earth. Build a large boat from cypress wood and waterproof it with tar inside and out. Hold on, let me do this in the serious voice. Build a large boat from cypress wood and waterproof it with tar inside and out. Then construct decks and stalls throughout its interior. Make the boat 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Leave an 18-inch opening below the roof all the way around the boat. Put the door on the side and build 3 decks inside the boat, lower, middle, and upper. Why are you so specific? Put the door on the side? Am I ordering a sandwich? Also, when did they invent a ruler? Yes. Correction. Correction. 300 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, or 138 meters, 23 meters, and 13.8
I did
meters.
this wrong.
Look, I'm about to cover the earth with a flood that will destroy every living thing that breathes. Everything on earth will die, but I will confirm my covenant with you. So enter the boat, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring a pair of every kind of animal, a male and female, into the boat with you to keep them alive during the flood. Pairs of every kind of bird and every animal and every kind of small animal that scurries along the ground. Why do they repeat that so much? Will come to you to be kept alive. Be sure to take on board enough food for your family and for all the animals. So Noah did everything exactly as God had commanded him. Why is the boat so specific? The flood. When everything was ready, the Lord said, "Go into the boat with all your family, for among all the people of the earth, I can see that you alone are righteous. Take with you 7 pairs." That is not what you said before. Take with you 7 pairs, male and female, of each animal, and I have approved for eating and sacrifice. Get rid of the tooltip about Hebrew. Thank you. Take one pair of each of the others. What? Also take 7 pairs of every kind of bird. If you say small animal that scurries along the ground, I'm gonna lose it. There must be a male and female in each pair I'm not reading it like that. To ensure that all life will survive on the earth after the flood. 7 days from now I will make the rains pour down on the earth, and it will rain for 40 days and 40 nights until I have wiped the earth clean from all living things I have created. You mean the ones on the boat? Contradicting yourself. I needed a chip. So Noah did everything as the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old. Damn. Noah spent 100 years building a boat? 100 years? Rome wasn't built in a day, I kid it, but damn. What about all of his wives and children that he will die in? Whatever the hell the quote copy pasta was. Copy pasta. Noah was 600 years old when the floods covered the earth. He went on board the boat to escape the flood. He and his wife and his sons and their wives. Jesus. With them were all various kinds of animals. Those approved for eating and sacrifice, and those that were not, along with all the birds and the small animals that scurry along the ground. He didn't say anything about the small animals that scurry along the ground. Noah's a sinner. I have dropped my chips. They entered the boat in pairs, male and female, just as God had commanded Noah. After 7 days, the waters of the flood came and covered the earth. When Noah was 600 years old, on the 17th day of the second month, what? All the underground waters, what are you yapping about, erupted from the earth, and the rain fell in mighty torrents from the sky. What underground? Oh, they did not know the water. They did not know everything wasn't like island Gymnosaurus floating. Correct. They probably thought that they probably imagine like a piece of wood floating in water. You know how it's not connected to the ground? They probably thought that's how land was. So like if you drilled down enough, you'd hit the ocean. That very day Noah had gone into the boat with his wife and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. Fuck. With them in the boat were I swear to God, this repeats itself so much. With them in the boat were pairs of every kind of animal, domestic and wild, large and small, along with birds of every kind. 2 by 2 they came into the boat, representing every living thing that breathes. A male and female of each kind entered, just as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord closed the door behind them, the one on the side. For 40 days the flood water. For 40 days the flood waters grew deeper, covering the ground and lifting the boat high above the earth as the waters rose higher and higher above the ground. Tune into the stream. The boat floated safely on the surface. Fine, that's a great boat. Finally, the water covered even the highest mountains on earth, rising more than 22 feet above the highest peaks. That is so specific. All the living things on earth died. Birds, domestic animals, wild animals, small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the people. Everything that breathed and lived on dry land died. God wiped out every living thing on the earth, people, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and the birds of the sky. All were destroyed. The only people who lived were Noah and those with him in the boat, and the flood waters covered the earth for 150 days. Gotta really make sure it's all wet. Shh. Where did it go? To what? The world's biggest rain cloud? Catch a lot of water. Ah, my fault. Real thirsty over those 150 days. Genesis 8. The flood recedes, but God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and livestock with him in the boat. He sent a wind to blow across the earth, and the flood waters began to recede. What? Huh? The underground waters. And that's how the moon was made. No, we already made. Yes, precisely. All the sediment and the nasty 22 over the peak of the mountain water. Oh my god. The underground waters stopped flowing and the torrential rains from the sky were stopped. They stopped 150 days ago. I don't know. So the floodwaters gradually receded from the earth. After 150 days, exactly 5 months from the time the flood began, the boat came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. 2.5 months later, the waters continued to go. What? The other mountain peaks became visible. Where is this mythical mountain you're talking about? After another 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the boat and released a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the floodwaters on the earth had dried up. Did God tell him to release the raven? He also released a dove to see if the water had receded. Look out the boat! And it could find a dry ground. Literally. But the dove could find no place to land because the water still covered the ground. Then what's the mountain peak you're talking about? So it returned to the boat, and Noah held his hand out and drew the dove back inside. After waiting another 7 days, Noah released the dove again. This time the dove returned to him in the evening with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. Where'd the tree come from? The water? Then Noah knew that the floodwaters... The what? The floodwaters were almost gone. He waited and... Basically. He waited another 7 days and released the dove again. This time it did not come back. Okay. Noah was now 601 years old. No? On the first day of the new year, 10.5 months after the flood began. No, 10.5 months, which clearly means a year. Yeah, because there's 11 months in a year because this was 2 weeks after Noah turned 6. Alright. The floodwaters had almost dried up from the earth, and Noah lifted back the covering of the boat and saw the surface of the ground was drying. 2 more months went by, and at last the earth was dry. Then God said to Noah, "Leave the boat, all of you, and your wife, your sons and their wives, release all the animals, the birds, the livestock, the small animals that scurry along the ground, so they can be fruitful and multiply throughout the earth." So Noah and his wife and his sons and their wives left the boat. And all of the large and small animals and birds that came out of the boat, pair by pair, Noah built an altar to the Lord. There he sacrificed. What? And there he sacrificed as burnt offerings the animals and birds that had been approved for that purpose. And the Lord was pleased with the aroma of the sacrifice and said to himself, "I will never again curse the ground because of the human race, even though they think or imagine, even though everything they think or imagine has been toward evil from childhood. I will never again destroy all living things." So the second coming of Christ isn't a problem yet? Cool. As long as the earth remains, there will be planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. Did he flood the sun during... Do we want to skip Genesis 9, or is it important? God confirms his covenant. Do we just want to make it out of Genesis? Because, no, this is the rambling of the children. You'll see. This is the account of the families of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You're telling me you don't want to read a bunch of names? Mainly because of how I'm gonna mess up so many of these names. The descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Jakad, Magog, Jedi, Javin, Tubal, Mesech, and Tyrus. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Gripath, and Togerma. The descendants of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rudiment. Their descendants. Kittim. Their descendants. Why is there a note here? There's another child in Hebrew. Their descendants became the seafaring people. Descendants of Ham. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Canaan. Yes. There's not an I in that. Tell them to spell things out before they write them. Okay. The descendants of Cush were Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, my fault, Ramah, and Sabteka, crazy name. The descendants of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Dedan? Not how you spell that. They're so bad at spelling, chat. Cush was also the ancestor of Nimrod, who is the first heroic warrior on Earth. Aren't they all descendants of? No comment. Since he was the greatest hunter in the world, his name became proverbial. People would say, this man is like Nimrod, the greatest hunter in the world. He built his kingdoms on the land of Babylonia within the cities of Babylon. So good at naming. Erich, Akkad, and Kalma. What? From there expanded his territory? Domain expansion? Ah. Ah.
Bullshit.
Building the cities of Nineveh? I don't know. Rehboth What? Kala and Resin? The great city located between Nineveh and Kala. Mizraim was the ancestor of... No. Not reading any of those. Canaan's oldest son was Sidon. He was the ancestor of the Sidonians. Canaan was also the ancestor of Hittites. Yeah. Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites? Amorites, Archonites, Sinites. Shanites, I don't know. Sinites or Shanites, one of the two. Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. The Canaanite clan. Are we bringing it back to ancient China? There are so many names here. Eventually spread out in the territory Canaan extended from south of Sidon to the north of to the north of Jera and Gaza, and the south and east as far as Sidon. I don't have a map of this. This gives me no scale. These were the descendants of Ham, identified by clan, language, territory, and national identity. Identity? Yeah. Filet for the third. Sons were also born to Shem, the oldest brother of Japheth. Shem was the ancestor of all the descendants of Eber, if it's Eden, probably. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Ashur. There's an X in that. Arphaxad. Bombaket. Lud or Lud. And Aram. Ludwig. The descendants of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Bombaket was the father of Shelah, and Shelah was the father of Eber. No, because you're the father of your father's descendants? So, hold on. Whoever the hell's name I can't say gave birth to. So, Shem is Shem was the ancestor of. Oh no! Wait, Shem was the ancestor of all the descendants of Eber, and Shelah was the father of Eber, the son of Bombaket, who is the son of Shem. Don't do that ever. Anyways, because that probably created like a crazy split religion during the Crusades. It's minor spelling mistake, millions dead. Anyways, Peleg. I'm not reading the rest of the the Tower of Babel. I finished my bag of salt and vinegar chips. It is. I'm about to drink some water. Or a quesadilla. The Tower of Babel, Genesis 11. At one time, all the people of the world spoke the same language and used the same words as the people migrated to the east. Of where? They found a plain in the land of Babylonia. I think we found out where. Alright, sure. And settled there. They began saying to each other, let's make bricks and harden them with fire. Parentheses, in this region, bricks were used instead of stone, and tar was used for mortar, in the parentheses. Then they said, come, let's build literally? Good to know, indeed. Then they said, come, let's build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches to the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world. Foreshadowing. But the Lord came down to... Why is there foreshadowing? Oh hell no. They got scattered along the world. This is so stupid. I have this quesadilla actually looks so good. Hold on. Jalapeno. Oh yeah. Where was I? Something. Why? I'm actually so lost why there's foreshadowing in the Bible.
There's always a lot of
Like,
foreshadowing, even towards the end.
can I? Somewhere in world literature, we should have done an analysis for use of literary devices. Oh, um, this will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world. But the Lord came down to look at the tower in the city. I said that backwards. And the tower that the people are building. Look, he said, the people are united and they all speak the same language. Foreshadowing. After this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go and confuse the people with different languages. Then they won't be able to understand each other. They never said why to. They never said why he did this. No. Yeah, they actually did. Yeah. Yeah, it's come, let's build a great city for ourselves with a tower that reaches into the sky. This will make us famous and keep us from being scattered all over the world. And then God went down there and said, wow, they all speak the same language and nothing's impossible for them with teamwork. Come, let's go down and confuse the people with different languages, then they won't be able to understand each other. Why? And that way, the Lord scattered them all over the world. I love foreshadowing. Crazy.
Fuck.
And that is why the city And that is why the city was called Babel, because it's where the Lord confused people with different languages. I think a reading from Genesis 1 to 11 is pretty good. There's
Keep going.
so much. Oh my god. The 5th of Genesis. Yeah. Who the hell is Timothy? They be having these crazy names. And then they have like Joel, Daniel, Jeremiah. Job. I haven't. We know it's Job,
Job.
but the thing is that Maverick just be messing up and calling him Job, and it was so funny.
Job.
I hope you know I'm never calling him Job. Job is so much funnier.
Oh, during the one of the little Bible studies I went to, I accidentally referred to him as Job.
What do they even?
No, they just fucking pointed and laughed at me.
I could not go to Bible study, dog. I have made way too many criticisms. And they just like it's like 4 books of John, Paul. I don't know, but I said John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Eviction. That would have been way cooler. Here, one second, I'm gonna go get some more water. Beatles.
Holy shit! I'm just not realizing Maverick isn't here. Apparently, wasn't me. Was it this one? It was kind of gold, right? Uh, oh, huh? Huh? What did that say? The massive amount of pyro energy is coursing through this scorching. Oh, oh wait. Smoldering flames is an application of pyro that would continuously deal damage to carriers.
I just realized how miserable trying to spread Christianity must have been to like people with more normal religions. Walk up to some like random tribe and introduce them to this, and then say the small creatures that scurried on the land about 30 times in Genesis 1 through 10, and have them actually lose their mind. What we're talking about. We'll get there by December. Maybe. Oh my god. You know how we have Bleach without the filler? Can we have a website like Bible without the filler? Literally, there was no need for that. Like, you could have just said it. His descendants created nations. Thank God we have the Tower of Babel to make sure we don't get spread out and we can all understand each other. That was actually so funny. Like, did he really do that much? What is the promise slash holy land? I forget. It's so ah, but there were like not gonna argue, not gonna argue with God. Why, why is Egypt such a villain? Yeah, something about him. Then why is Egypt like number one op? Um, yeah, there's 50, I think. That's a lot of chapters. So take it to a publisher. God. All of that to explain not that much, honestly. Probably because they said all the small creatures that scurry along the land that many times. It's probably actually a page of that phrase. And I also don't know what they mean by that. Do they mean like bugs? They breathe in the breath of death? What? Uh, the version I'm reading seems a lot funnier. I still hate the little Hebrew tooltips I'm getting because ah, I'm not. It would be so annoying if I got tooltips in my book. Uh, I'd scream. Mhm. I swear to God, if I'm ever reading the Bible and hear anything about economic climate, I'm lose. Okay, guys, my snacks are depleting. I've eaten an entire quesadilla. I now have a jar of pickles. Please bring me back to Genesis 12. Maybe. The Pharaoh. The Pharaoh's here, guys. The call of Abraham. The Mama Abraham. That doesn't even say Abraham, that says Abram. Saraham. The Lord had said to Abram, leave your native country. What? Leave your native. Huh? Where did this country come from? Leave your native country, your relative. God, for literally no reason. And your father's family, I would. What? No, I'm bringing them with me. And go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. Thank God Abraham becomes a nation. I will, I will, I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. Why? Why is he doing all of this? What are you doing? Is he just bored? I, yeah. All the families on Earth. I'm actually not getting over that. I'm like, what? So Abraham departed as the Lord had instructed, and the Lot went with him. And Lot went with him. And Lot. I'm opening my jar of pickles. Was that one of God's punishments? What? Yeah. Abraham was 75. I don't need to know their age. Abraham was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his wealth, his livestock, and all the people he had taken into his household at Haran, and headed for the land of Canaan. When they arrived in Canaan, Abraham traveled through the land as far as Shechem. I don't know. There he set up camp. There he set up camp beside the oak of Morah at Han.
My
That
bad.
area.
Using my phone during Bible study.
Huh? What?
uh, I saw a real fucking it's an edited clip of Goku and Cell fighting, and Goku was like, "Fuck this! You want to play DS?" And then they both whip out a 3DS 3DS XL, and then play this fucking this Dragon Ball game. And Goku still beats Cell in the game.
Uh, at the
Goku,
time,
I mean, fucking. Oh, hold on. Yeah, yeah, you go, you go, you
nah, 3DS XL break.
go. And the fucking at the end of it, like when Goku beats Cell, Cell just says, "Fuck you, Goku." I don't know why that got me so bad.
Anyways, there he set up camp beside the oak at Morah. At the time, the area was inhabited by Canaanites. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, I will give this land to your descendants. And then the Hebrew footnote tooltip says 12:7 Hebrew seed. Okay, that's all it says. And Abram built an altar and dedicated it to the Lord who had appeared to him. After that, Abram traveled south. Where did you get a compass? and set up camp in the hill country with Bethel to the west and and I to the east. There he built another altar and dedicated it to the Lord, and he worshipped the Lord. Then Abraham continued traveling south by stages toward the Negative. Yeah. Um, Abraham and Sarai in Egypt. Side side quest? Apparently. I'm so ready for part 3. It was. Part 4 is still my favorite. It's so funny. Anyways, at that time, true. At that time, a severe that was.
Two
At that
identical
time, a
rocks.
severe famine struck the land of Canaan, forcing Abram to go down to Egypt. Okay, where he lived as a foreigner. Obviously, what? Obviously, as he was approaching the border of Egypt, Abram said to his wife Sarai, "Look, you are a very beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife. Let's kill him, so then we can have her.' So please tell them you are my sister. Then they will spare my life and treat me well because of their interest in you." I almost threw up. And sure enough, when Abram arrived in Egypt, everyone noticed Sarai's beauty. When the palace officials saw her, the government, they sang her praises to the Pharaoh, their king, and Sarai was taken into his place. I just realized how much history this skips over. Going from like shut up, going like the recreation of humanity to government in Egypt in like 2 chapters. Whatever. When the palace officials saw her, they sang her praises to the Pharaoh, their king, and Sarai was taken into his palace. Then Pharaoh gave Abram many gifts because of her sheep, goats, cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants and camels. But the Lord sent terrible plagues upon the Pharaoh and his households because of Sarai, Abram's wife. What? Oh. Is it truly that deep? Oh my god. So Pharaoh summoned Abram and accused him sharply. "What have you done to me?" The Pharaoh's curse. He demanded, "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife?" "Who told you? You don't know this." Hey, hey, someone lied to you. Plague. Okay. "Why did you say she is my sister and allow me to take her as my wife?" "Oh, that's why. Now, then, here is your wife. Take her and get out of here." The Pharaoh ordered some of his men to escort them, and he sent Abram out of the country along with his wife and all his possessions. Quite literally a side quest that had nothing to do. All of that could have been like not mentioned, and I think everything would have ended the same. So Abram left Egypt and traveled north into the Negev, whatever the hell, along with his wife and Lot and all that they owned. Abram was very rich in livestock. Thanks parentheses. From the Negev, they continued traveling by stages toward Bethel. I don't know how to say it, but it's spelled out like negative without the negative. So we're getting it Negev. Or Negev. They continued traveling by stages toward Bethel, and they pitched their tents between Bethel and Ai, whatever the hell, where they had camped before. This is the same place where Abraham had built the altar, and there he worshipped the Lord again. Lot, who was traveling with Abram, had also become very wealthy with flocks of sheep and goat, and herds of cattle, and many tents. Where are you carrying tents? With the flocks of sheep and goats and herds of cattle. But the land could not support both Abram and Lot with all their flocks and herds living so close together, so disputes broke out between the herdsmen of Abram and Lot. At that time, Kenites and Hezrites also lived on the land. Thanks, parentheses. Finally, Abram said to Lot, "Let's not allow this conflict to come between us or our herdsmen. After all, we are close relatives. The whole countryside is open to you. Take your choice of any section of land you want, and we will separate. If you want the land to the left, then I'll take the land to the right. If you prefer the land on the right, I'll go to the left." Lot took a long look at the fertile plains of the Jordan Valley, the direction of Zor. Never mentioned before lands, oh my god. The whole area was well watered everywhere. That is a very redundant sentence. I'm more worried about the whole area was well watered everywhere. Like the garden of the Lord. What? Or the beautiful land of Egypt. Parentheses. This was before Lord destroyed um, Sodom? Sodom. That's not an A. Sodom and Gomorrah. Into parentheses. Lot chose for himself the whole Jordan Valley? Oh my
Level
god.
91.
Great.
What the fuck?
To the east of him. He went there with his flocks and servants and parted company with his uncle Abram. So Abram settled in the land of Canaan. And Lot. Why did they go to Egypt? And Lot moved his tent. Apparently. And Lot moved his tents to a place near Sodom, and settled among the cities of the plains. But the people of this area were extremely wicked and constantly sinned against the Lord. After Lot had after Lot had gone, the Lord said to Abram, "Look as far as you can in every direction, north and south, east and west. I'm giving all this land as far as you can see to you and your descendants. You already said this is a permanent possession, and I will give, thank God, and and I will give you so many descendants that, like the dust of the earth, cannot be countered. Perry, Troy ice cream. Go and walk through the land in every direction, for I am giving it to you." So Abram moved his camp to Hebron, I assume, and settled near the oak. Okay, and settled near the oak grove belonging to, excuse me, Mamre. There he built another altar to the Lord. He does that a lot. About this time, war broke out. About this time, war broke out in the region. King Amraphel of Babylonia, King Bumblebee of King Erich. What? Erich? Eric. King Eric of Elithar. King Kedolaomer. King Kilometer of Elam. And King Tidal of Goyim. What are these names? Fought against King Bear of Sodom. King Bersha of Goram. King Shinab of Admah. King Shember, why not? Literally. Of Zeboim. Zeboim for looking. And the, and the king of Bella (parentheses also called Zor). What? The second group of kings, what? Joined in Silim Valley, that is, the Valley of the Dead Sea. Just call it that. Or in Hebrew, the Salt Sea. For 12 years, it's it says 14-3 Hebrew, Salt Sea. For 12 years, they had been subject to King Kilometer. But in the 13th year, they rebelled against them. 1 year later, Kilometer and his allies arrived at the Raphites. Why not? At the Raphites at Ashtaroth. What the fuck? The Zuzites at Ham. I'm skipping it for as many things as there are names. Mount El Parent? L like EL dash. Anyways, and then they turned back and came to Mishpat, now called Kadesh. What the fuck? It is not called Kadesh. Both, and conquered all of the territory in the Alamakites, whatever, and also Amorites living in the Hazazon. What the heck? In the Zaza tomorrow. Then the rebel king of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, and Bela, also called Zor. Please don't put that in parentheses every time you say Bela. I will lose my mind. Prepared for battle in the Valley of the Dead Sea. 14-8 Hebrew Siddim Valley, see 14-3, also 1410. Thanks. Hebrew footnote. They fought against King Kilometer of Elam, King Title. I'm not reading all of the kings. 4 kings against 5. As it happened, the Valley of the Dead Sea was filled with tar pits. What? And as the army of the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, as some fell into the tar pits, while the rest escaped into the mountains. Where did the tar come from? The victorious invaders then plundered Sodom and Gomorrah and headed for home, taking with them all the spoils of war and the food supplies. They also captured Lot, Abram's nephew, who lived in Sodom, and carried off everything he owned. But one of Lot's men escaped and reported everything to Abram the Hebrew. Abram the Hebrew, yes, his new title, who was living near the oak grove belonging to Mamre, I guess. Mamre and his relatives, Eshcol and Aner. What are these names, dog? Me either. Or Abram's allies. When Abram heard that his nephew Lot had been captured, he mobilized the 318 trained men who had born into his household. What? Why does a small army? Apparently. Then he pursued Kilometer's army until he caught up with them at Dan. No, it's like Cato Lamer. Cador Laumer. Cato Lamer. I swear to God, I'm calling him Kilometer. There he divided up his men and attacked during the night. Kilometer's army fled, but Abram chased them as far as Habath and north of Damascus. Abram recovered all the goods that had been taken, and he brought back his nephew. Yes. He brought back his nephew Lot with his possessions and all the women and other captives. Do we care about hard to say name number 800 blessing Abram? Does it matter? The king of Salem? What? I'm skipping you. The Lord's covenant promise to Abram. Sometime later, the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision and said to him, "Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great." If I saw God in my vision and he said that, I would freak the hell out. But Abram, yeah. But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, is that your new title? What good are your uh, what good are your blessings when I don't even have a son? Since you've given me no children, Eliezer of Damascus, a servant in my household, will inherit my wealth. Having given me no descendants of my own, so one of my servants will be my heir." And then the Lord said to him, "No, your servant will not be your heir, for you will have a son of your own who will be your heir." What? Both. Then the Lord took Abram outside and said to him, "Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." No, that's a lot of things. True. And Abram believed the Lord. The pickle. Yes, it is. And the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. And then the Lord told him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of the Ur of Chaldeans, what? To give you this land as your possessions." But Bible study. But it's making it so much better. But Abram replied, "O sovereign Lord, how can I be sure that I will actually possess it? Believe in me?" This is such a lobotomy. Alex will not believe when I open my Instagram too. I got out of the shower earlier and just they're so funny. My diet today has been miserable. Right. Valid.
Oh shit. What the fuck is this quest? Trade me. This is world quest I that I'm doing. This no, it's for fucking the New Fontaine Research Institute. Yeah, I've noticed. I've
I put down my pickle lid. Metal. Kyla, you fit the metal 17.
Um, where the fuck I put this? It's going right there.
What do you mean pairing? I have my Bluetooth connections on. Pair. A mango with the. Shut up.
What? Huh?
I love that this page referred to the version of the Bible that the Catholic Church uses as, as the Catholic New Testament canon.
Alright, my controller is about to die, so I might just call that as my signing it off.